This is Joann Erenhouse again from Senior Solutions. We're bringing you a new format show in that we're going to be having a regularly scheduled program every month. We'll be on the schedule at BCTV, and we hope you'll look for us and tune in at least once a month to find out what's new for our population that's 60 and over or disabled. So in case you're wondering, we're Senior Solutions. We are actually the Council on Aging for Southeastern, I'm going to do that over. We are the Council on Aging for Southeastern Vermont, and we serve Windham and Windsor County. So right now, I am extremely excited because we have a guest here today. This is a new person that works with us. It's Jim Collins, and he is wonderful, and he's joining our outreach team in communications, and you'll probably actually see him in Brattleboro at different community meetings, at different organizational meetings, professional meetings, you name it. He'll be the man about town, helping people understand what we do. And I think I'm going to let Jim start off because he's got a lot of things to talk about regarding our NCOA grant and different benefits that he can help people find out how to make the most of their money. Jim, would you like to kick it off?
Sure, I'd like to do that. Again, my name is Jim Collins. This is really my second month employed by Senior Solutions on a part-time basis. I know I don't look it, but I am in that same senior citizen category. I just retired after 54 years in education and got a little bored with my retirement and figured I needed to continue to work and give back to the community. And so I was hired by Senior Solutions to do outreach and really explain what we do offer to help seniors have a quality of life, because sometimes people just don't know what's available to them.
That's so true. It's amazing how many people have lived here for years and years, and how long we've been here. We've been operating since, I think, 1973. And people still don't know about a lot of the benefits that the Older Americans Act gives to them. And, I try to explain to people all the time, it's really not charity. The government realizes that a lot of the older Vermonters retired many years ago, and that retirement money doesn't go as far anymore.
Not at all, and we assume that our seniors or anybody knows what Medicare or Medicaid is all about.
Yes.
And we all end up taking either one if we qualify, and that in itself is a significant process. For me it was, and I'm an educator, but I was not educated about that process, I'll tell you that.
Right.
And I took some time, and the people around us at work who do offer advice to our clients that deal with, where do I get Part B for Medicare? And what about the prescription drugs? And they're clueless, like most people are.
Yeah.
And sometimes they make the wrong choices or no choice at all. And ultimately that leads to a penalty down the line. So we have people who are experts in that area, and you can get in touch with them by calling Senior Helpline, which is 1-800-642-5119, and we call it our Senior Helpline. It's not just dealing with finances or whatever. If you see a senior or know of a senior who is living in more of a self-neglect home or what have you and needs help, call the hotline.
So to follow up, Jim, on what you're saying about serving the people, and if people maybe know that somebody is living in reduced circumstances, to call us. Just following up on that, so many of our Vermonters are living out in the country. They've been retired for a long time. They're very proud, and they're very private. So whenever, we can't go walking down the driveway and knock on their door and say, can we help you? We have to wait for them to come to us. And we have to be very respectful, because these people have done a lot throughout their lives to help their communities, their families, and their neighbors. And we want to make sure that we continue to treat them with dignity. And it's hard, so it's hard to reach them sometimes. So we do depend on everybody out there. If you have friends, relatives, neighbors, whatever, and you think that they could use help, you call us if you're a relative, or let us know and encourage them to call us, because we can't help them unless they get in touch with us.
That's so true. And once they get in touch with us, and we can talk to them about some of the benefits that they may not even be aware of, like with Medicare. There's a Medicare savings plan, if you qualify, that will pay the Part B. And people don't know that. And you don't, when you apply for Medicare, it's not a given.
Nobody's
All right?
going to tell you.
Nobody's
Well,
going to
we
tell you.
will, but
Right.
if you sign up through Social Security, I believe, for
Right.
Medicare, they're not going to offer that as an option.
Right.
So there's so many things that we do help people with, and not that we do everything ourselves, but we will, through our case managers, who will work with anybody who calls and wants help. They'll get a case manager who will give them assessments and see what they need, and they will help them fill out the forms, help them understand what kind of documentation that they need to have in advance so they don't have to scramble around and waste time. They'll help them figure out exactly what they can qualify for based on their income, and also what they need that they didn't even know they could get.
And sometimes they're getting taking advantage of Meals and Wheels that
Yes.
we are involved with, but part of that service is also a nutrition service that we would come out to your home and help you with any nutrition situations.
Yes.
Help plan meals with you and so forth.
That's right. We have actually, we're mandated through statute to have a registered dietitian oversee all the meals for Meals on Wheels. And that dietitian, we have, I think, maybe 2 or 3 to cover the 2 counties. They are available for personal consultations for any Meals on Wheels client. And that's an amazing benefit. Costs nothing. Everything that we connect people with and help people with costs nothing, because we're funded through the federal government, the state, through many nice grants that we have, and through the towns who, thankfully, thanks to all of you out there, they support us every year at the March Town Vote, so that they kick in some money to make sure that we are continuously able to serve their population. And we also get private donations. So we don't have to ask anybody to pay for any service. And we like that, and we feel that's a very important piece.
You know, one service is our volunteer service.
Oh, my
That
gosh.
We can't even talk more about that. I mean, it is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's a
You've
big
had a lot to
topic.
do with the Vets for Vets. Could you say a little bit about that program? I think
Yeah.
it's outstanding program.
Thanks. I was honored to be able to participate in working together with our volunteer coordinator, Vicki, who had this original idea, and we were supported by the state of Maine. But the whole idea was, let's get the vets involved and let's gear the program the way they want to see it. It's an extension of our friendly visitor program, so that any veteran, male, female, from any arm of the armed services, doesn't have to serve in a war, don't have to belong to the American Legion or the VFW. Just be a veteran. You have
It's
two
an automatic contact or
Yes.
something they have in common with that vet who's
That's right.
probably, lonely or living in a rural area.
Yeah,
and
can't
has
drive.
very little, can't drive.
Yeah.
So they plan and talk things out together. It's a great program.
That's right. So if you or you know somebody who either would like to receive a visitor or would like to be a visitor, call the helpline. And you can call the number that Jim gave you, or you can call even our local number, which, only because I don't know the other one by heart. We have 802-885-2669. That's also a number that goes directly to our helpline operators. And let me just say that this, again, is not charity. The American Legion right here in Brattleboro were the instigators, and they were our first partners, and they are pushing the program along with us to help serve more and more people. Program's growing exponentially. It's
We
going
have we have
all over.
I live in Chester, Vermont, and our American Legion
Yep.
has that program established as well, and it's having an impact on the positive impact
Oh,
on
yeah.
the community.
Because again, like Jim said, maybe they can't get out again as they used to. And we were talking to the original commandant at the American Legion here. People aren't coming out to the meetings as much because they can't. So, but right now, thanks to the visitor program, the membership at the American Legion in Brattleboro, at least, is swelling. More and more people are coming out. And that's the whole idea for all the visitor programs, keeping people connected to their community. Because we all need friends. We all need to see people face to face. And we all want to know that people care about us. And truthfully, because it's not charity, they love it because it is really an extension of the buddy system that everybody experienced in boot camp. These people have each other's backs, and that is so wonderful.
And you know where you really see that? We've both visited many of our senior centers and greeted so warmly and want to know what benefits that Senior Solutions offers. They love to just sit and talk with you about some of the issues that they have as seniors, because we listen and we provide support, provide transportation when needed, can provide fuel assistance when needed. So we're out there to help our seniors.
Thank you. And I think that's a good shout out to our senior centers. And we serve Windsor and Windham County. So up in Windsor, we have the Black River Senior Center in Ludlow. There's the Bugby Center in White River Junction. There's the Thompson Center in Woodstock, which everybody knows is the pinnacle of our senior centers. They have quite an operation, and they do a wonderful job, as does Brattleboro Senior Center.
We both spoke with them.
Yeah,
They were
that's
amazing,
right. Oh my God, we had a wonderful time.
And I had a nice chat the other day in the Bellows Falls Senior Center.
Right. Yep.
And I knew some of the people in the center because they were involved in Bellows Falls athletics. So, and I was an ex-AD in Chester at Green Mountain. So we had a nice conversation. They like to reminisce
that's
about
the best.
some of their stuff.
That's the best.
Yeah.
And I love to listen to that.
Me too.
I just get such a kick out of it.
Yeah.
I really love it. So we have a lot of wonderful partners throughout the counties who also care and advocate for the aging population. And let me say, aging's not necessarily a problem. It's not always, a negative issue. Aging can be wonderful. It's a chance to branch out into new adventures. Maybe you're not going to, do the high jump, and you're not going to go, ice skating for the first time when you're 89. But there are so many things you can continue to enjoy, and a lot of it has to do with the people in your community and staying connected. Oh, who are all the volunteers in Vermont? Everybody that's a volunteer in Vermont, not everybody, but I'm going to go off on a branch here and say probably 90% of the volunteers are over 60. Two reasons. They've retired, so they have a little spare time, but they're not just out sitting in the garden drinking lemonade. They're driving the Meals on Wheels buses. They volunteer at hospitals. They volunteer at the schools doing the reading to the little kids. They do so many different things to enrich our communities.
Yeah, I know my next door neighbor is a volunteer for Meals on Wheels. He also does counseling at the prison in Springfield.
Oh, wow.
And he's a retiree, and he wants to give back to the community.
Yeah, and how do you thank these people?
You can't.
How do you thank them? Well, there is one way.
Right here.
There you. Thank you. Okay, good job. And also, when you think about it, if you talk to your legislators and encourage them to pass the legislation that would provide better pay for in-home health care workers, because they get a pitiful salary, no benefits, and on the other end of the spectrum, the ones who then they'll quit, so you can't find enough help to get into the home for people. In the nursing homes, they get a statutory raise every year, and they deserve it. I'm not saying they don't. All I want to do is make, and this is the V4A's opinion, we would like to see a little more equity and make sure that our in-home providers get a salary so that we can continue to attract new and young people.
I'm going to piggyback on that because we also support that strong family is really providing, care to their elderly parents. And we have programs that will come in and help support that caregiver in that situation as
That's
well.
right. We have the dementia respite grants
Yes.
for anyone who's caring for a loved one who's got dementia. That's very demanding, and every once in a while, they're going to need to recharge their batteries. And if we can help them help themselves and
Right.
give them the tools so that they're better able to communicate with the dementia patient, better able to help them and to work out their own problems too, then they're happier and they'll make the patient happier.
Yes.
So I think that's hugely important. I'd also like to mention one thing before I know I'll forget if I don't look at it.
No, you can
You don't
look at
mind.
it. It's
do-
okay.
You guys don't mind, right? We have a program coming to our area on April 16th, and that's the Share Housing Program. I'm going to read this right from my column. Are you having a hard time paying your bills? Do you feel socially isolated because you live alone? There are options. On the 16th of April, from 8:30 to 12, Anna Marie Pluhar, who is the author of Sharing Housing, that's a guidebook for finding and keeping good housemates, she'll be holding a workshop at Holton Hall at 130 Austin Drive in Brattleboro, Vermont.
Oh, right here.
The cost is $35 a person. There are some scholarships available. If you want to register and you need more information, contact us at Senior Solutions at 802-885-2664. You can talk to Tracy or whoever answers the phone. And you also get her book if you take the course.
Oh.
So it's not just for the few hours that you're there learning really wonderful techniques
Right.
on how to screen potential housemates, how you handle things. She's lived this. She's done it for several years.
Wow.
So it's not just theoretical. And she really can give you some good tips, can make a big difference in your life and make your life that much more pleasurable.
Right, and if you're up in the Springfield area and want to stop into Senior Solutions, somebody's always there. We certainly welcome you
Yes.
in our place as well.
We do. It's probably good if you call ahead because we have case managers, but they're many times out visiting someone at home who can't get into a car and drive, or they just
Right.
are unable to get out. So they're not always there. But if you call and say, "Hey, can I come in?"
Sure.
We're not going to say no.
Right.
That's the main thing because we're here to help, and we care. So I'm going to tell you one more thing, and then I'll let Jim take over again because he's got a lot of things to say. I want to remind everybody not to get nervous about the virus epidemic because we've had flu epidemics, we've had all kinds of things, and you just need to use good sense and follow simple procedures like wash your hands often with soap and water. Cover your mouth and nose when you sneeze or cough. Stay home when you're sick. And see your doctor if you think you're ill, like if you get a temperature. This is just basic, everyday, healthy tips that we should be doing all the time anyway.
That's right.
And I don't want people to get upset and nervous. There's no need for that. There will be help if needed. So just keep that in mind and stay calm, cool, and collected like a good Vermonter does.
Well, that's good advice. Good advice. Thank you for letting us share our Senior Solutions programs with you. Just want to end this by saying, feel free to call us anytime if you feel that you need somebody in the family that's a senior, needs some help with counseling or some direction. We can help provide that. I think that a key thing is this Medicare, understanding Medicare, we do host Medicare boot camps.
Yep.
I attended 2. I wish I had attended it when I was 55.
Well, now, you must be at least a lieutenant by now.
Well, I think I could be a captain.
All right.
I don't want to be an admiral. All right. But we certainly appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah, thanks, and tune in next month too. We're going to be covering things like the Boost Your Budget program through the NCOA to help people make more of the money they have. We're going to talk about the census. We're going to talk about 3 Squares program, and for the summertime, particularly the crop cash. We'll talk about our other visitor programs, and I want to remind people about the Home Meds Assessment Program. It's a free service to anyone in Windsor or Windham County. You have to be over 60. You don't have to be one of our clients. Give us a call and say you'd like a home meds assessment, and our nurse case manager will make an appointment with you. She'll come and we'll go over your prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, herbal remedies, vitamins, you name it, anything that you have taken. She will run it through the process and tell you if there's a probability that they interact poorly, because you may have a problem getting dizzy. You're not just dizzy. It could be the chemicals that you're taking through all these products that are interacting inappropriately. Those results will then go to a geriatric pharmacist. I think he's in Burlington. And then the results will be sent to your primary care physician. And again, this is free, and it can be a real lifesaver.
Lifesaver. Mm-hmm.
So I encourage you to call and check on that.
Good.
And until then, we'll see you. Maybe Jim will be back in a couple months too. So
Anytime.
yeah.
Love it. Yeah.
So we look forward to talking to you each month. So thanks again, and stay well.
Thank you.